So, hello, this is Lisa Cara from Inbalance Pilates. I wanted to welcome you tonight to this feature interview. I'm so excited to have with me tonight Alicia Walton, the owner and creator of the She Matters subscription box by Boxed In. So, thanks so much for being here tonight, Alicia. I'm
Thank you
so
so much
happy to
for
have
having
you.
me.
I'm so happy to have you. I've been cheering for you all
Thank
along the way.
you.
I'm so excited to hear for you to tell everyone about the upcoming box, about the business that you
Yes.
created. I'm super excited to be a part of next month's
Yes.
box. I'm so excited for
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, so tell us, and welcome again. Tell us about the business and the box and how you kind of went from that or idea to implementation.
Yeah, definitely. So I've started my own self-care personal journey about a year ago. So it was January 2020 that I discovered that I needed to make a change in my day-to-day life. I was recently diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and stress is a trigger for some of my flare-ups. And I have a high stressful full-time job. I am an accountant for a nonprofit, and especially around this time of the year. It's a little stressful because we have audits, it's the end of the year, closing the year out, the financials. And there was a point in time around this time last year that I had a really bad flare up, and I needed to make a choice on whether it was changing my career path or changing my day-to-day schedule in my life, and how I care for myself. So I said, instead of going to the most dramatic side of things and doing a whole career change, because I just got my MBA, and it was like, no, I don't want to change careers yet. This is something I'm just kind of getting my feet in. I just got a new executive position at the organization that I'm with. So definitely didn't want to move right away. I'm like, let me see what I can do about my schedule, my day to day, to kind of help with reducing stress. And I started to discover different things. So I definitely got into therapy, which has been like a huge help with my mental health and just kind of how I think about different things and how I handle my stress and my anxiety. But also just digging a little deeper into what self-care actually means. Prior to this, self-care was very practical for me. So it was just like the bubble baths, the glass of wine, and like the simple things that social media shows us what self-care is.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm like, it has to be more than this. So I started doing some research and discovering that there's actually 6 different types of self-care. And depending on, what your preference is or your personal style is, there, could be 7 or 8, with spiritual being one of them. And I know most folks don't they aren't spiritual people, so that might not be included for you, but I am. I consider myself to be a Christian, so spiritual self-care was definitely one of the types that I wanted to research and look into. So throughout that, I also created a self-care accountability group, where I'm just like, hey, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I should journal or I should meditate, but then it happened for a couple of days and I fell off, or I
Mhm.
forgot, or it just didn't work within my schedule. So I'm like, it would be really cool if I had some other individuals that were interested in the same things that I'm interested in, having dedicated time for self-care and trying to normalize it in my day-to-day life for us to hold each other accountable.
Mhm.
So I put out a post on Facebook asking if there were folks who were on a similar path as me and who would want to be a part of the self-care accountability group. And actually got a really overwhelming amount of people. I had to take the post down because I
Oh,
didn't want it to be too big, because I just thought it was, just to be something small and intimate that I can connect with different women and they can connect with me and we can, support each other. So I wanted it to be small, so I had to take the post down. I actually got about 15 women that were interested in the accountability group, but um, through everyone's schedule and just trying to figure everything out, we narrowed it down to 7 women. So there's about 7 of us. We meet once a month, and our first meetup, I was like an event planner in my past life. Our
mhm.
first meetup, I put together this nice like setup. Like I, had like a nice table setting set up. We did it outside because this was in the middle of the pandemic. There was
Okay.
we did it outside. There was what do you call those things?
Like a gazebo or
Yes, a
yeah.
gazebo. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. It was a gazebo
You've had a
outside.
busy day.
Right. Today has been really busy. It had a gazebo, and I brought a table and some nice chairs, a tablecloth that had some flowers, the flower arrangements.
Beautiful.
And I have a really strong passion for doing for others and like, trying to make other people happy, which is why I'm in the nonprofit industry and like just helping and supporting others. So I thought about this idea of having a kind of like a favor to give to the women, just a thank you for coming to the meetup and just being a part of the group and just being open. And it was a box that had a bath bomb, some lotion. It had a self-care journal, a guided journal in there with a nice little pin with a diamond on it. I actually have it right here. So cute.
Oh, beautiful.
Um, and a couple of other different things in there that I was gifting them.
Yep.
And I was talking to my therapist about it, and she's like, "That box seems really cool. Can I see it? Like, can I see a picture of it?" So I showed her a picture of it, and she's like, "Have you thought about selling it?" And I said, "No, I haven't thought about selling this box. I just did it out of the kindness of my heart for the women that were in this group because I like doing stuff like this."
Yep.
And it was nice. It had like a little sticker label outside of the box with a nice little bow. It was cute. But I'm like, no, I didn't. I never thought about, the box. She's like, I really think you should consider it because during this time with the pandemic, I think that would be something that women, would like and that they need, like something to
Yeah.
encourage them with self-care. So I'm like, all right, yeah, thank you. And I was like so busy trying to focus on the challenge and matter that I had at hand that week to talk to her about in my session.
I didn't come here for business strategy.
I was like, yeah. So about that thing. But after my session, I started to think about it and I'm like, she's right. This could work. So I started doing some research and I'm like, I could share all of the things that I've discovered on my own personal journey about self care, the 6 different types, what they include. I can also include some different products to speak to those different types of self care. And package it as a subscription box. So I was like researching a subscription business model. And I'm like, this could actually work. They can, sign up and subscribe for a month. And I just kind of started doing all the research and bam, there goes She Matters. And I was like, this is awesome. And She Matters actually was the name of the self-care accountability group. I
Okay.
was like
Okay.
I was trying to figure out a theme and like kind of what to call us. And my husband actually thought of the name. He's like, She Matters. I'm like, yeah, I love it. So
Nice.
when I figured out the subscription box idea, I'm like, you know what? It's only right. It stemmed from the group
Yep.
and with my therapist planting the seed, and I went with She Matters subscription box by Boxed In, which is the parent company. It's a customized, unique gift box that a company that we build gift boxes for different occasions, whether it's a birthday party or get well boxes or birthday parties or baby showers, or just different whatever you
Yep.
want. We
Okay.
customize those boxes. So the subsidy off of that business became She Matters, which is the subscription segment of it. So that's where all of that started. I know that was like a mouthful, but I
No,
felt like I
that's
couldn't leave out so many
exactly
details.
what we wanted to hear. And so people can sign up for like is it like a 3-month kind of timing or
Yes. So I definitely
one
wanted
off
the
or
subscription plans to be flexible,
okay.
especially during the pandemic and just being mindful of folks, personal individual needs. So there's a monthly option where you can subscribe and sign up for monthly, or
Yep.
you can you can sign up for quarterly, so every 3 months.
Hmm.
And then we definitely have the option for you to maintain your own account. So you can pause, you can skip a month, you can cancel at any time. It's just we have a cutoff date of the 27th of each month. So that way we can just kind of have everything that we need for that month to be able to prepare and fulfill the shipments for that month's box.
Okay, okay, okay. And the group of people that you had started originally, so were they friends of you that you knew, or they were all people that you did not know?
Most of them were associates, like we had mutual friends. So I
Okay.
had a prior business many years ago where I had ran a shoe boutique. So I had built an existing following, and these women still followed me over this time. And we just kind of became I guess you can call like social media friends.
Yes,
but
yeah,
but they weren't people that, I would pick up the phone and call, my
yeah,
friend and just kind of hang out with, but they were just people that I knew online from,
yeah,
a previous business venture. Um, and yeah, they were interested and, on the same journey and pretty much related to everything that I said, being a mom, a sister, a wife, we just wear so many different hats and you
yes,
forget about ourselves a lot.
yeah,
Where it's like we prioritize everything else and everyone else besides ourselves. So
yeah,
just talking and dealing with that, we're like, you know what, we need something for us.
yeah,
And the fact that we were going to hold each other accountable for it. Even to this day, we have a group chat where we would text each other just, encouraging words, affirmations, just checking in. Hey, how you doing? When we meet up each month, a lot of times we're open about different things that we're going through, whether it's in our relationships or in our family or work. So we'll check in like, hey, I remember you telling me about your boss last week. How did that go? So
yeah,
it's been a really nice like support system and a networking of like a community. It's
yeah.
the same thing with
Well,
our Instagram page. It's like it feels like a community of women that's just together to, help support each other and provide resources.
yeah, and there to lift each other up and cheer
Yes.
for each other. And as you said, I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, we're going to start this journey, whether it's self-care journey, taking more time to pour into ourselves so we can pour into others, whether it's fitness or like healthy eating. It sometimes we can start off well that first week, and then
Hmm.
as you said, if you don't have that accountability lined up, those kind of success partners lined up, right?
Hmm.
It can be fall by the wayside kind of thing. So yeah, having those other touch points of community to know that, I can pop onto Instagram and get inspired by
Right.
right now you've got the self-care challenge going on. And
Yes.
yeah, just to keep that top of mind, to stop and smell the roses, stop and
Right.
drink the water, do the breathing exercises, move your body, reach out to support, right? All those
Hmm.
things.
And
And just being,
sometimes it feels good it feels good to have validation for someone else to tell you, no, it's not selfish for you to put yourself first.
yeah,
So we pride ourselves in like giving that reminder to our, the community that
to
we've
each other.
built where it's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Because yeah, as a mother and as a wearing all the hats for sure, it can be hard to at some points to really have our boundaries and realize where we need to prioritize our time
Yep.
and where to give and pull back and all that kind of
Exactly.
thing.
When
So
when can we say no and not feel
yes,
bad about it?
yeah, and not feel bad about it, exactly, and I'm sure over these last few months, like, really diving into it more, I'm sure it's really helped decrease some of your flare-ups
Yep.
with MS, right? I'm sure.
Definitely. I always tell my subscribers and the community of women that we've built that I'm not only helping you guys are helping me because
Mm,
this is my constant reminder of whenever I'm doing research to figure out, okay, what type of products should I put in the box to help these women? It's my constant reminder. It's like where you're telling them to pause on purpose. Are you pausing on purpose? Like just
yeah,
the reminder for myself. So it's definitely been helpful for my own self care and keeping up with my activities and routines.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. And was your husband, is he used to the well, he was used to it with the boutique. I was gonna say, is he used to this busyness of the entrepreneurial world again and
He
all
is.
all the extra?
He is, and,
It's so nice to
the
have
price
helpful, supportive
so
husbands,
nice.
eh?
Oh,
And that
yes.
get that we have these dreams and we have these, "Oh, I have this idea, and then I'm gonna turn it into this," right? To have
Yes.
someone that loves us, that cheers for us, that's like, "Yes, go for it," that's helping you out with a name,
It's
like
awesome.
that.
He's a
Yeah, no,
true
I
champion of
agree.
She Matters. He usually helps with, like, all of the, PR stuff and, like, our social media. He usually, like, chips in and kinda helps respond to comments and messages if it gets really busy and backed up, but yeah, he's an
That's
awesome supporter.
fantastic. That's fantastic. I hear you. I've got a super helpful husband as well, and,
Aw.
he's more helpful with the kids and cooking. He's not really into social media,
Mm. That's
but
still a
that
help. That's a
alone
huge
is
help.
like yes, yes, and as I said, he just gets those dreams that not everyone gets, if you're
Mhm.
strictly 9 to 5 and you just don't have that brain for, it's a different world when you're constantly like, "Oh."
Yep. Yep.
Creating and right, and you need that support. You need those supportive people in your corner that can
Definitely.
keep pushing you and keep
Mhm.
cheering for you in the right ways, and then yes, having that support around just following through with these
Yes.
self-care activities and, getting them on our calendar, getting them on the
Hmm.
schedule, getting that accountability.
Yes.
It's all huge. So where's the best place for everyone to find you on social media, your website?
Yes, so they could definitely follow us on Instagram. That's our biggest community right now. And our profile is at she matters underscore by boxed in. And we are starting to create a Facebook community as well, but that's still under construction. We haven't launched it yet, but that's TBD. But we do have a Facebook page, which is at she matters by boxed in, no underscore, just straight through. And then they can also visit our website, which is www.shemattersbyboxedin.com.
That's amazing. And then so everyone has until February 27th
7th to subscribe
to.
in the March box, which you were featured in.
Awesome. Yes, that was super fun to create. And the beauty of online interactions and
Mhm.
right finding people online.
Yes.
Yeah, that was how we met was through Facebook and
Hmm.
things
Facebook
like that.
group.
Yeah, through Facebook. And so yeah, it's so nice. And especially now, just with everyone indoors and or so many people indoors and working from home, and just it's so important to make these connections and collaborations and cheer for each other and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
And yeah, I have a passion for sharing ways to go from that feeling of chaos to calm, whether it's with the breathing exercises or
Yes.
posture, Pilates. I
I thought
find.
that was so important that you offer that, and then for me to, reach out to you to offer that to our subscribers, because I mean, being on the other side of self-care before, and it just kind of being, practical, people would say, "Oh, just breathe through it," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I am breathing. Like, I have to breathe to stay alive." And I'd be like, "Okay, there you go,"
Yeah,
and not really knowing like how to structure that and how to breathe. So I'm like, when I seen your post, I'm like, you know what, I want to provide this to our subscribers, because I'm like, there is a technique to this and it really is helpful, especially when you're in like an anxiety provoking a position or situation, or like if you're stressed at work. A lot of times if my chest is really tight because I'm like dealing with some tension or whatever it may be at work, it really helps for me to like shut my computer down and like really focus on my breathing. And it helps so much. It helps.
it does. It does. And even, we talked about like just having the posture when it comes to breathing. So whether you realize in your body that it's a time where you need to do like a grounding activity, if you're
Hmm.
busy with something at work and you're feeling yourself getting really, whether it's flustered,
Yeah.
overwhelmed, needing to come back down, even just, yeah, like simply having both feet on the ground, feeling that
Hmm.
grounding, take that time to do that deep breath and it not being a stressful breath, right? Because as you said, someone could say, well, just breathe. And if you were still just tensing every time,
Yeah.
right, you wouldn't be getting that full relaxation effect, that
Mhm.
full it's that dealing with that fight or flight response, right? Learning how to
Right.
calm the nervous system. It's so important. And then, yeah, just having these go-to exercises that that you can use in those moments when you are
Right.
feeling stressed. Once you find ones that really work for you,
Hmm.
whether it's to decrease stress or to decrease overwhelm or moods or whatever it
Yeah.
is, right? Or
I'm
use
so
it.
glad you said that, because I talk about that a lot with my subscribers and customers. I tell them that self care looks different for everyone. It's not a one size fits all, and that's what I used to think. And I feel like that's what social media kind of shows you, like, oh, do this, and this is self care, and this will work for you.
Yep.
And that's not the case. Self
Yep.
care looks different for everyone, because what works for me may not work for you.
Yep.
With our subscription boxes, we try to send different resources and different things each month to introduce to our subscribers for them to try out and see what works best for them.
Yep.
Because the breathing, whether the breathing exercise works for you or not, at least you tried it and said, yes, okay, this works for me. I can integrate this into my day to day. Or you may, turn to Pilates, or you may turn to yoga, or whatever it is. But as long as you find what's right for you, your body, and your schedule,
Yep.
whether you're a mom or a single woman, whatever it is for your schedule, do what's best for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And whatever is really giving you that energy where you
Right.
need it, and whatever activities I find allow you to radiate whatever it is you want to
Hmm.
radiate, if it's calm, if it's whatever it is in the household or at work, or, just being able to, yeah, use those things to get you in that right direction
Definitely.
makes a big difference. And then for, when if we have children, I have children. So, just again, like reiterating how important it is to take care of yourself. And if there are
Modeling
moments
it
that you
for
need
them.
to take some time and go be in your room, it's okay to have some time to yourself.
Yes.
It's important to have time for yourself. It's important to breathe, to think about things that we're thankful for, and all that. It makes such a big difference.
Such a big
Um,
difference.
yeah, yeah,
That
and I
wasn't
mean,
modeled for me when I was a child, so that's why it's something that I had to learn as an adult, and I'm trying to model that behavior for my children. I have a son and a daughter, and I'm trying to model that for them so they know that this is normal. This is a normal practice that I should be doing. I should be taking out
yes,
time for myself.
yeah,
I should be, taking time for reflection. What's mommy doing? And my daughter asks me all the time. She's like, "What are you doing, mommy?" And I'm like, I'm so glad to like teach her and show her what it is that I'm doing so that she understands this is normal. This is what I'm supposed to be doing,
yeah,
opposed to feeling guilty. Like, wait, I shouldn't be having time to myself or doing the things that I like to do or that brings me joy. So that's
yeah.
very important. How old are your kids?
Mine are 7 and 9, 2
Oh,
boys, 7 and 9. And what I like about, school, I'm noticing that they're really incorporating in the whole growth mindset teachings versus having a fixed mindset, having a growth
mm,
mindset. So yeah, being able to give their little minds these personal development tools
yes.
at a young age, and yeah, the whole self-care. And we were joking before we got on that one of, I think, our common self-care activities is having fun on Canva on a Saturday or whatever, right?
Yep.
And that's the thing, to each their own. And for me,
Yeah.
that came from, I had a concussion that led to me downsizing my Pilates studio. And so when I wasn't busy teaching group classes, my entrepreneurial brain still needed to feel like I was still contributing and doing
Hmm.
something, right? And so I just got into, bless the heart of my website developer and graphic designer Stephanie in Italy, because she would teach me stuff 10 times, and I would still try to, but it was just a good mental activity for me to try learning something and try to keep doing it. Same with Canva, using that brain power of, making something and just being creative, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, that's the thing. You find things that, whether it's puzzles that work for you, doing
Right.
art, doing
Hmm.
movement exercises, hard workouts, relaxing workouts, meditation, whatever
Yes.
it is, however we can pour into ourselves to be able to pour into others, and that.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so thrilled that we connected, and
Yes,
that
me too.
um that I was able to put something in for the March one. And as we said, the deadline to get in on the March box is February 27th. So they would just have
Yes.
to head to your website before then. Definitely sign up for Alicia's, get on your email list, because you're always sending
Yes.
some great tips to the email inbox just with
Thank you.
self-care,
Yep. You can
which is
access
so
that right on our
important. Because
website.
sometimes, I mean, I open my emails, and I'm definitely a person that I'm busy doing work, and I see an email from you that reminds me to self-care, and it works.
Oh,
It
good.
does
Thank
work.
you. Thank
It does
you.
work. So yeah, so anyway, so thank you so much everyone for tuning in tonight. Make
Yes.
sure you
Thank you.
say replay if you're watching the replay, and we'll come back and say hello to you. And we'll pop
Yes.
some of these links in below so that you can easily find Alicia and everywhere on Instagram and all the places. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you again so much for having me in
Yes.
the box and for coming on the interview tonight. It was so nice to have you
Thank you
on.
so much, Lisa. I appreciate the connection, the partnership, and as well as coming in and speaking with your audience. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're more than welcome. It's absolutely my pleasure. So thanks again for coming on tonight. We will end end the interview tonight. We'll end the interview here. So I just wanted to say thanks again. Have a lovely evening, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Have a great night. Bye.